Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Parade here.
Here is here.
Pettit here.
Cummings here.
Krueger here.
Dolphin here.
And Kwame is out. Okay. So we are looking at the of posting and adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes? I do know there's one. Yours says the wrong date on it,
Mine says August 19th.
but mine says August 15th, so I think we're,
Today's the 12th.
oh yeah, okay. So we have a couple different dates, so please note it is August 12th. Do I have a, I don't think I have a motion on that. Okay, so moving on to the regular board meeting, Wednesday, July 8th. Oh, no.
We do need a motion.
Okay, just joking, we do need a motion for the adoption of the agenda. Do I hear?
Parade will move for adoption of the agenda as posted.
Here is the second.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Craig, seconded by Jurgis for the adoption of the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so no one, 7-0, or 6-0. All right, so we are moving on to the regular board meeting from July 8th in open session. Are there any changes or corrections?
I have a change
Okay,
and a correction.
okay,
On page 2, at the very top, it says Suzi Gould, or Gold. I'd like it changed to Daniels.
okay,
And then in the announcements section, what was there, something about me being mean to Suzi Daniels. I would like to change to, Dolphin complimented Daniels on her quick turnaround in providing answers to his budget fund balance questions. I already gave that to Suzi, if that's okay with you guys. to
yes,
change.
that is totally fine. Is there any other changes? No, okay, I'm just looking for a motion for those added changes.
Parade will move as discussed.
I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Crave, seconded by Pettit for the regular board meeting on July 8th for the approval with the 2 corrections. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 6-0 vote. All right, moving along to regular board meeting Wednesday, July 8th, closed session. Are there any notated corrections for July 8th?
I will move to approve. I will second.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Dolphin and seconded by Jurgis for the Wednesday, July 8th closed session. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, 6-0 vote. Moving on. Do we have these student representatives? I don't believe so. Okay. All right, and up to Cindy.
All right.
She's
So,
going to discuss the WASB summer learning.
yes, so it was very informative, as they told us. First year is all about learning. So we got a little head start on the summer symposium.
Okay.
Started on a Friday, and we had our keynote speakers talk about policies and politics. And then I went to a second session about partnerships with a small community and raising money for empty buildings and with the UW. It was interesting. Then I went to a breakout session with the superintendents from across the state, talking about how they work with their boards. And I didn't know that there was 5, 7, 9, and 11 board members in different districts. And then the next day, it was all about AI, pros and cons, and kind of scary, but interesting. And then the last meeting that we all went to was about school budgets and referendums, which was the same speaker that I saw at the CSEC conference in Whitewater in June. And I'd like to share some slides about statewide fiscal stress. Beth. Sorry, Mary. I had them down to 6, so you wouldn't get too overwhelmed. So, first of all, of course, as a teacher, I always vote yes for referendums, and I believe in them, but I was wondering why they were going up every year for the whole state, and this is about revenue limits. How much is spending per pupil when revenue limits were first introduced in 1993 have not changed. So there are per pupil adjustments allowed by the legislature, but nothing has really changed. And then, of course, we all know that our enrollment is going down, which is one of the reasons why we have to have referendums. Revenue limits are expressed in dollars per pupil, but as our costs go up, those dollar amounts are not going up. So it can be exceeded if approved through a local referendum, which we know we've passed, a recurring one, which is permanent, or a non-recurring, temporary. And like I said, it's been 30 years since they locked districts into spending levels. And of course, we all know that costs have gone up. So each district has a different limit. They're not tied to student need or cost to schools. And of course, we were considering how much schools have changed in the last 30 years. And also, we have fallen behind on the GPR. So it was hit its peak in 2004, and now it's at 32.2, so it's gone down 16.4, and the GPR is just general purpose revenue. So we're not much of a priority to the state anymore. So what factors are driving the need for operating referendums? Each district has a different pupil revenue limit, which we had discussed. Lack of inflationary adjustments, cyclation, nature of non-recurring referendums, and most of the state has to go to referendums now. They need to go back to voters or make drastic cuts if they don't pass. And some districts have failed multiple successive times to pass referendums. So they're lucky that we have not. And then, of course, the last thing that's affecting our budgeting is vouchers. So for the statewide and Racine private school choice programs, for example, per pupil payments are funded through a reduction in the state aid that would otherwise be paid to the school districts in which those pupils reside. And that is it. So I talked to Beth today about writing maybe a little article in our newsletter to explain.
Explain that.
Yeah.
That's great information. Thank you for going there and attending. Did you go or did she just go?
She just went.
You just went. Awesome. And you had your WASB
Yes.
meeting as
Yes.
well. How did that go?
That went very well, and
Okay.
that is the same information, same person.
That does both of them?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Got it. All right, well, thank you. All right, moving on to Eugene. I think he is online, correct? Academic and career plan?
I am online. Do you guys have a, hey,
Hi.
hello,
Hi.
Syvrud. Thank you all for letting me participate virtually today. You guys all have that document, or do I need to share it on the screen?
We have.
We should have it, yeah.
All right, so we sat down with the administrators and kind of talked about how to make our ACP, our E4E, effective for this year. So we went through the whole thing. A couple things that are truly important to note is that these documents are able to be switched and moved and changed as we see. So if there's some things in there that you're like, we're missing, or some things you'd like to see, or some things you'd like to say no to, you can do that as well. On the first page, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You're welcome. The only thing I really want is, there is a financial plan, there is a financial cost to all of this stuff. Just to make you aware, I know you all know it, but, just wanna make sure everybody knows that. And then, going down to page 6, really, there's nothing that's changed in the other parts. If you look at where it says key indicators, it says post-secondary readiness indicators as defined by AASA, that's the American Association of Superintendents or something like that. And they have what is called redefining ready. And so we took their redefining ready and placed that into that section right there as the key indicators. And so that is something that has come from the National Superintendents Association. And I also have on there industry recognized credentials earned. That is something that I think is really, really important for us for a couple different reasons. Number one, it puts our students in the yes pile when they go to apply for jobs. We want them to have industry recognized credentialing. And on top of that, it's also funded by, we also get funds back from Perkins. So for every kid that has a industry recognized credential, we get money back for that. So that's another reason, not the main reason, but it's a bonus plan. It's best for kids, and we get money, so it's a double win. Anything else on there? Just the emphasis of the field trips, how important that is to the development of this ACP plan and getting kids to understand what the real world is going to be like. And on page 9, where it says professional development for staff, one of the things on there says out of district site visits. Those are some things we're going to plan on doing on professional development days, getting the teachers out into some of the local communities and seeing what the expectation is from different businesses for what they're looking for in their educators, so that we can get our students ready to take it to the next level and help the community. That's pretty much all I got.
Do you guys have any questions? Eugene?
Yes.
I don't think anyone has any questions. Thank you, Eugene. I appreciate it. And I guess I do have a question. So they work to have the partnership with the different businesses, because I see a list of businesses that we're partners with, and that goes
Yeah.
through Tyler, right? Correct?
There was one thing that was missing on there that I failed to mention. We had to get a baseline. I think that's on page 5. And it said add baseline data for graduating classes. We haven't got that up yet, but Tyler knows that he needs to get that done, so that'll be up there when we get a little closer to school starting.
Okay.
The things on the bottom, those are all places that we've had youth apprenticeships in the past, and that's where that list came from. So I worked with Rich Dykstra of the Jefferson County Youth Apprenticeship Program to kind of come up with some of those names too.
Got it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I think we are on to Travis. You're going to go through the academic and career plan for the middle school? Or is it gonna be similar?
Yeah, we all worked on it together.
Okay.
Me, Christine, and the team all sat down and created that document together. The only thing I would probably add is just the work that the team has done previously with like the portrait of the graduate and the different skills that we want kids to work on. And Christine had informed me that there was like 6 middle school teachers that did some design sprints where the teachers came up with a problem and the students had a particular amount of time to come up with a plan and create a product and test that product to see if it was successful or not. So just getting middle school students to be resilient, to be communicators, to be critical thinkers, to be inquisitive, to be community oriented and adaptable. So obviously we're teaching content in our classes, but really focus on the skills to be college and career ready as well.
Thank you, Travis. Christine, do you have anything to add to that as well?
I do. First, I want to say that I do appreciate the school board's willingness to support this work. We think that it's really important, and it is the future of education and how our students are going to be successful once they leave high school. So in pre-K 4, we are talking about college and career readiness through our CARES instruction, and that is Tegan Ochoa. She's our counselor. So she has different career units embedded throughout the school year. We also talk about college and career readiness in a little simpler way when we talk about skills in our Waterloo word, and going deeper into what does it mean to be respectful, what does it mean to be responsible, and teaching some of those foundational skills. So that is what we are looking for in pre-K 4. And I know Eugene and Travis mentioned this a little bit, but this is a working document. So we would appreciate feedback from the board and the community as to what you would like to see in this plan as we lay it out for staff.
Board members, do you guys have any questions? No. Well, thank you, Christine, Travis, and Eugene. Michele, you are up.
Good evening, everyone. I am going to present my screen to share with you our annual performance report, which I don't think I have shared before with the board. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so every year, we receive a report from the Department of Public Instruction, and overall each state must submit an annual report to the federal special education programs to demonstrate how well students with disabilities are being served under IDEA. So basically, it measures compliance and accountability through 17 indicators, and it measures whether or not the services we provide to students with disabilities lead to positive results. The performance influences state monitoring and improvement planning. So that's kind of an overall description of what the report is. So as I said, the report has two types of indicators: the compliance indicators, which basically answers, are we following federal and state special education laws? And that's measured by those indicators listed below: timely evaluations, our transition planning, our secondary transition requirements, if we have dispute resolutions and how those are handled, and then timely corrections if we are found to be non-compliant. And then we have the indicators that are considered results indicators. So our students with disabilities actually achieving meaningful outcomes. And that's measured through things like our graduation rate, dropout rate, our assessment and participation in achievement, our preschool outcomes, our post-secondary success, and our parent or family involvement. So what you have on the screen is kind of a summary of the report that I put into a chart form. It's also on page 30 of your packet, and I can share this with the board digitally because when you hover over each indicator, it can give you the specific explanation of the indicators. Tonight, I'm basically going to summarize just some key takeaways that we will use with our administrative team when we're thinking about planning for the coming school year. What you'll notice is our local data is highlighted in our school colors and our district colors, and then it's compared to what's going on in the state, as well as the target percentages. So you can see in many of our indicators, I highlighted them green on the left-hand side. We are exceeding expectations. We are doing better than the state and doing better, as good or better than what the state's target is, which is great news. And then some of the indicators that I highlighted in yellow would be indicators that I would want us as a district to pay attention to when we're making some of our strategic planning at each of the building levels. So that chart summarizes kind of all of the indicators. And then just to give you sort of a summary takeaway, the strengths that our district is demonstrating in these areas are strong graduation rates, our participation in assessments, our achievement at the elementary level. We are not disproportionately suspending or expelling students with disabilities. We are strong in our preschool outcomes, in our equitable representation, and in our transition, whether it be early childhood or secondary. So we are doing really well in that, which is great news. Opportunities for improvement that I wanted to highlight is the achievement in middle school, especially in the area of English language arts, and achievement in the high school, especially in the areas of mathematics. So our indicators are showing that our gaps between how our students with disabilities are performing compared to our students without are a little bit bigger than what we would want them. We also could look at improving our preschool environment. So what that means is, are we giving our students ages 3 to 5 services with their same age peers to the extent possible? So that's something that our team is going to look at. And then our parent involvement. And just to note, if you look at the chart and you're like, there's supposed to be 17 indicators, there are some missing. 3 indicators are measured every 5 years, and this is the year for Waterloo on our post-school outcomes, our timely initial evals, and our parent involvement. So we'll have data on that for next year. Any questions on that report?
Yeah, so you have a couple of them highlighted on the results page, so those are
Yeah.
the ones that you want to focus on, is that where you're looking at for the ELA, the mathematics, and then there's one other one highlighted down there.
Preschool ed environments, yeah. When you take a look at that and you compare it to how other districts are doing in the state, and what the target is, you can see that we're a little bit off. And I think that's an area that we could really take a look at as a team. And again, the percentage in the ELA and math that's highlighted, it's a higher percentage, but that percentage represents the gap. And so what we're saying is that our students with disabilities, the gap is bigger than what we want to see. So they're not performing as well as same age peers without disabilities. So really that comes down to, again, how we're collectively as a district serving those students in both special education and regular education. And that's where our multi-level systems team will take a look. Our building administrative teams and our student services will be sitting down and really kind of digging into that. The preschool education environment, you can see that we're at 15%. That's a little harder for us because we're such a small district, so our numbers of students that are served in preschool are going to be much smaller. So for every student that is served not with their same age peers, so I'll give an example, in speech and language, if they're completely pulled out to receive services, the state likes to see a target of about 37% of our students is receiving services with their same age peers, kind of like in a push-in setting situation. And with our numbers so small, it kind of skews the data, but it's definitely something that I think our team can look at and reflect on, which is why I have that highlighted.
And sorry, one more question. So when you're looking at those, the ELA and the mathematics, it shows like grade 8 and the grade 11 are the two that are struggling either with ELA and mathematics. Like, is there a way for us to be able to maybe, I don't know, like is it that they're struggling early on before 8th grade and we're just not getting it, like indicating that? Or is it really that you're showing that it's 8th grade for, I don't know, ELA and then mathematics and all the way until grade 11?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question, and I think it's a complex solution, and I think it really is gonna take some digging with our team to think about the root cause of that. I don't think it's, you know, like we're doing fine, and then all of a sudden it falls apart. There's a lot of variables that go into the assessments and what we're measuring. You know, we're comparing, for example, a forward exam to an ACT exam. So I think there's a lot of pieces that we can look at, and in general, our district really does dig into the ELA and math at all grade levels. And through that multi-level systems of support, it's really about the tier 1 instruction, as well as the interventions that occur in the regular ed classroom. Those all are part and parcel to how we deliver our instruction, and then how are we responding to it when we're trying to fill those gaps in special education services with specially designed instruction, as well as other tier 3 interventions. So it's kind of a puzzle that right now we're sort of shining a light on it, that we want to dig a little deeper into this, and it will be a to be continued as part of our multi-level systems when we're looking at that academic bucket. Remember, we have the academic, the behavior, and the wellness bucket, so that will really kind of play into what's our plan in that academic bucket to kind of dig into that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Michele? Okay, moving on. Thank you, Michele.
Absolutely, thank you.
Suzi, all right, the 2025-2026 amendment for the preliminary budget.
So in July of 2025, the board approved a budget with a projected deficit of $188,618. At the close of this fiscal year, unaudited of course, the district's ending up with an actual fund deficit of $162,504, which is $26,000 better than projected. So that's good. While it's a positive improvement from the original projection, the district still ended the year in a deficit position. The result demonstrates that we're able to improve on our budget production, but while also highlighting the need to continue strengthening the district's overall financial position. So for 26-27, the district's currently projecting a budget deficit of $286,240. Because the district is entering yet another year with expenditures exceeding revenues, this is not simply a one-year concern. It points to a structural budget imbalance that will require continued attention and thoughtful financial planning. Over the next several months, administration will continue to closely monitor revenues and expenditures and review opportunities to reduce the projected deficit. This will include reviewing staffing, programs, operational costs, and potential revenue opportunities while keeping the impact on students and educational services at the forefront of our decisions. So the final 26-27 budget will be established in October, allowing the district to incorporate updated financial information and make any necessary adjustments. The tax levy will be approved the 4th Monday in October.
Does anyone have any questions?
I did have one.
Yeah.
In looking at the preliminary budget for next year. And I don't expect you to have the answer for me right away,
I'll try.
but account number 210000,
Yeah.
pupil services.
Are we talking about the revenue or?
It was expense.
Oh, an expense, okay.
It was an expense, sorry.
No, all good. Yes. The 361,000?
Yeah, well, I think it, 2 years ago was $194,000.
No, 2 years ago it was 374,000.
Okay, now I'm looking at the wrong one then.
374 is the first one.
Because the budget has 24-25 audited, 25-26 unaudited, and 26-27.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 374, 929.
This is the adopted budget. This is the amended. So I thought you were talking about the 26-27. but still, it's, right here's what you're talking about, right?
That shows up in a number of different spots. No,
Yeah,
no.
2100.
I will send it to you in an
Yeah,
email.
absolutely, no problem.
Thank you.
So it's basically everything in the function that starts with the 2-1. Everything roll up into it.
Okay.
And sometimes, there's whooper changes, which is, how we have to code things with DPI, like there's quite a few changes last year and again this year. So that's sometimes why things move in there. But yeah, email me.
Does anyone else have any further questions?
You can ask, I won't call you mean.
Again, I called myself mean for the record. I wanted to change that.
Okay, well, thank you, Suzi.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the approval of the bills and vouchers. The treasurer's report, the superintendent listing of the disbursements through July 31st, and the review of the district receipts for the month of July. Do I have a motion for those? Do I have a second? Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Krueger, seconded by Pettit for the bills, vouchers, and the financial reports. That's a roll call vote.
Brave, yes.
Gary, yes.
Pettit, yes.
Cummings, yes?
Suzi, yes.
Dolphin, yes.
Okay, 6-0 vote. All right, moving right along. All right, so we are at any announcements. Are there any announcements tonight? No announcements, okay. We are at public input. I do have one person here, and I have some people online. Would there, anybody, are you guys gonna be speaking? Because I will read this if you are. No? Okay, so no public input? You guys have anything to say? Okay. Okay, moving right along to new business, staff positions, which is in your packet. Are there any questions regarding these staff positions? We do have a new head boys basketball coach. We have an assistant football coach and a JV football coach, and some volunteers for football. I know there was 2 of us in the head boys basketball coach interviews, and they were really well, really good. We had a good outcome. I think we had 3. Did we have 3? Yes, 4. 3. So we did hire Alec Sharma, and yeah, they're very excited about that. He is coming from Texas. He was a coach in Texas for the college. Right? He was like at
He went to Arrowhead High School, and in fact, he just was my Captain's summer league coach, and he said he really liked it.
Yeah, and so he came back, his dad owns a business in, I wanna say Waukesha area. So he came back, and so he has a lot of experience with playing and also coaching, so.
Great.
Yeah, so he has college experience, which is really good. Do I have any other questions?
I was just gonna make a motion.
Great.
To approve the staff positions
Great.
as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So I have a motion on the floor by Jurgis, seconded by Krueger to approve the staff positions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I don't, 6-0. All right, moving on to teacher leadership positions. Are there any questions regarding the teacher leadership positions?
Any noted changes from last year?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
I think pretty much all of these positions in here, that, like AP and that, are all the same as last year.
I will move to approve.
Do I, you have a second? Okay. So I have a motion on the floor by Dolphin, seconded by Krueger to approve the teacher leadership positions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, 6-0. All right, so taking action of the 2026-2027 other co-curricular positions. Does anyone have any questions in regards to the other co-curricular positions? Okay.
Any noted changes from last year? I didn't think so.
Nope, doesn't look like it, with all the years of experience. Okay, looking for a motion?
Ray will move for approval.
Second that motion.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Crave, seconded by Yurgis, to approve the 2026-2027 other co-curricular positions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed, no one, 6-0. Okay, overloads and advanced placement assignments.
The only change for these it's based on, the courses that are coming up next year, but.
Is Shelley coming back?
That one, if you don't want to put on there, you can cross that one off.
Okay, is she coming, did she retire?
Yep, she retired. Mhm.
Okay, so is she gonna come back and do that or no?
Maybe we don't have anything signed on it.
Okay, okay,
I don't know.
okay. So, yeah, cause I think I saw her name on the math curriculum lead too. So I would say,
You can just strike her out if you want to strike her out.
or what do you guys wanna do?
Strike her out for now.
Yeah, we don't know.
Strike her out, okay.
There's no contract, we'll strike her out.
Okay. Okay, okay, I just need a motion then?
I motion to approve it with the updates of Shelley being removed. I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Pettit, seconded by Krieger, for the 2026-2027 AP course assignments with the noted change. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, 7. Okay, 6-0 vote. Then we have the high school student handbooks, co-curricular handbook. So I know the co-curricular handbook was put on bound this year. And the student handbook, obviously anyone that had to sign up, was there any changes? I don't think there was any changes on either one. Does anyone have any questions regarding the high school handbook or the co-curricular handbook? What?
I said there was a lot of reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the student handbook and the co-curricular handbook.
I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Yurgis, seconded by Pettit, to approve the high school student handbooks and the co-curricular handbook. All those in favor?
Aye.
I know, none opposed, 6-0. All right, moving on to the 2026-2027 budget. So we have two. Do we,
Oh, there are two separate things. So at the end of each fiscal year, the budget has to match the actual spending.
okay,
So as long as nothing else changes over the next, the rest of the audit, I won't have to bring this back. If we have anything more than $1,000 difference, we get a finding in our audit. So this is just to
oh,
make
that's
everything.
why they kept asking me about the audit thing. Is that?
And that's part of it, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we just, we have to amend the budget to make it reflect the actual.
Okay, so the first one is the 2026-2027 budget.
Mhm.
Does anyone have any questions regarding that? Again, this is gonna probably come back
It 100% will change.
a couple
but
more times.
Yeah, this date is what we'll see at the annual meeting in the booklet,
Okay,
because we get some of the final numbers October 15th, so.
okay. Yeah, okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I figured out where my question was.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
So I'll come over there and clean up.
there we go. in expenditures and other financing uses, it was $195,000 when he audited. And now it's jumping up to 414.
That might be.
It is.
So we did, special education changes based on the needs.
Yeah.
So that's just unfortunate where some of those hit. The 100s are more, like the student-based, like 15600 is speech and language, where the 200s are more, I think that's not the right word, but I can give you a more exact on that.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
since this is preliminary.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve.
I will second.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Dolphin, seconded by Jurgis to approve the 2026-2027 budget. Again, I'm gonna indicate it's gonna come back a couple more times. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. The 2025-2026 budget amendments. So she already explained that. Does anyone have any questions regarding the amendments?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Dolphin, seconded by Pettit, to approve the 2025-2026 budget amendments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Moving right along. Discussion, dates for the curriculum committee meeting. That's me and you.
Yes.
Okay, so when do they usually do that? The curriculum meeting? Is it usually in September, or maybe it's
I'm not
October?
on that one. Christine might know better.
Christine, when do we usually meet?
Late October, early November.
Correct. October or November.
Okay, when does it work for you?
Whatever works for all of you. We don't have a whole lot on for curriculum this upcoming year, but I did want to remind the board that we'll be having a human growth and development committee, and we are planning to do that in October.
Do you know what that date is?
I would like to have it on our in-service day, I think it's October 23rd, so that we could have teachers participate in that.
Okay, do we want to do, you know what, I'll make it easy, Susan's not here. So me and Cindy and Susan will get a date in October, and then we'll shoot it over to you to make sure that that works for you.
That would be perfect, thank you.
Yep, perfect. Okay, and then what about the building and grounds committee meeting?
It's usually in the fall. We've had a lot of air conditioner repairs so far this year already. I almost think we can wait till we know what more budget we're dealing with. I would think so. Bring up the other calendar. Mm-hmm.
You and Jeremy.
So
Jeremy.
Jeremy,
And,
Jennifer, and
Jen.
Chad is on that.
I would say end of October, beginning of November would probably be best.
Is it a Monday?
Tuesday. Yeah, I've got nothing that day, so November 10th would work for me.
Jeremy,
Sure.
Jennifer?
No, I'm trying to think, that's after all the sports, that's a perfect spot.
What time can everyone make?
That's pushing it for me, but you have to be in Middleton. Yeah, 6 would work.
6 will be fine.
All right, November 10th at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Do we meet here?
I think you should, district, you should meet Brian's office.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, future agenda items. Board, is there anything you would like to see on the agenda for next month?
No?
No? to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. And the next meeting is next meeting is, September 10th, 11th?
Ninth.
I knew it was right around there. Perfect.
I won't get that one, no
Okay.
vacations. And it's really hard for me to do vacations because of the fall is so crazy, so I'm really
Sure.
sorry. It was either that, I accidentally, booked it so late at 4 o'clock on the annual meeting night. I was like, oh no, so I changed it, so.
That's okay.
Okay.
You told us a whole month and away, so you're fine. You get to take vacation too.